Hey guys, you alright? I was just having this thought in my mind and I was like, I might as well share it on TikTok. What a big fat lie feminism was. Like, we've been indoctrinated in everything. Like, oh, eat this, this and this, and it's good for you. And then you realize, oh, it's to benefit industry. You know, they restricted women so much in history to a certain extent where we couldn't even breathe or move without checking with a man. And then when they handed us on a plate that, okay, then you can have these freedoms, we were like, yeah, we want to be able to do what they're doing. We didn't want what they had. It was the only thing that was being offered. We didn't want a man's life, but we saw how much liberation and freedom men had to move around and live their lives. And that's all we wanted. We wanted to be able to have the freedom to be creative. We wanted the freedom to be able to explore our own hobbies and make, an income according to what our desires were. And we got bamboozled because now there's a whole millennial generation that, like me, for example, work full time, run your own home, pay your own bills, sort your own car bits out. Oh, the fire alarm's gone. You're organizing that yourself, trying to get someone to come and help you. And then during all of this, you're having your menstrual cycle. And then randomly you can get sick. And doing all that alone as a woman is a very, very stressful situation to be in. It takes away from your femininity because you're permanently stressed about what's this next practical thing you have to do. When actually the more traditional role of a woman, if it wasn't abused as it was during history, then that's where we flourish the most. Making sure we're pristine and looking good, making sure the house is nice, nourished food is cooked in the home. There's always a patient and calm soul at home for all the people that come in from the outside that have been rushed off their feet. Like, we are predominantly nurturers. And because of this rat race that we got thrown into, and we threw ourselves into it thinking that's where our liberation is, I've come to realize that that's actually taking the most away from me. Like, sometimes I think, God, I'm exhausted. How do I keep up a social life and run my house like a man by myself? It's so, and then when you have all this, when you've experienced doing everything yourself and getting everything in order and all that, your patience for other people actually becomes less. And especially in the South Asian community, every single boy, I mean, I know that's a bit exaggerating, but most of the guys, they still live at home with their mum and dad. They've never had to pay a council tax bill. Never had to, ring up a plumber and get the emergency toilet situation sorted. They've never had to really run a home themselves. So as a woman who's now, I would say, hyper independent, I'm trying to rake it back. I'm like, no. Now is my chill era where I actually am at home being a woman while a man's out there being a man and providing the roof over my head. But then you find it so interesting how once the women went into the workforce, they made sure that with inflation and the way the salaries go and how much money you can earn, that a man is like borderline physically, it's impossible for him now. It's impossible for him to run a household and give a woman an allowance. So it's like we are fighting against this world order. And I don't know if anyone else can relate, but if you're an independent woman, working full time, running your own house, doing everything yourself, please share below what your experiences are, because I'm not hiding it anymore. I'm exhausted. I want to be in my princess era where I'm looking after my hot body and my beautiful house and being a floaty princess around my mansion. And I don't mean mansion as in like a 16-bedroom house, but for a woman, somewhere that's safe and secure and is hers is a mansion to her. All my female energy my feminine and divine energy is being sucked away by the corporate world. And now I'm stuck in this rat race. It's impossible to get out. And no wonder there's statistics now that are like saying that by the time we get to, I think it's 2035, that over 50% of women over the age of 35 to 40 are going to be single. Because we have to now work on reversing what we've caused. So yes, we should be promoting our future daughters to look into what they're interested in and build their own personalities, etc. Of course they should. And if they can earn money from that, brilliant. But we need to start accepting that majority of us women, we need to be taken care of. We want to be taken care of. We don't want to be slogging it out there a week before our cycle when we're exhausted and tired and don't know what's going on. Like, we need more flexibility in our schedule to thrive and to do our roles correctly. So this is all about, let's get rid of that masculine energy as much as possible. And, you know, how do we work around this? Give me your opinion. Give me your thoughts. How do we restructure the world so women can go back to being what they were truly made to do, which is nurture and nourish?